Indie authors. In order to get your book out there and find readers, you want to be seen online. And I can tell you how with these 6 foolproof tips that can help you to get started today. Now, this is important for all kinds of authors, but especially for indie authors. Crafting a compelling brand is a key element to being seen as an author and finding readers. Thankfully, we live in an age of social media. There are a lot of book communities on TikTok, on Instagram, on Discord. You have Goodreads, you have Readsy. There's a plethora of platforms on which you can find fellow readers and authors. And if you're on those platforms, you can be seen by just making sure that you have a very well-established brand around yourself and around your books. So you want this brand to be about who you are authentically and what kind of genres your books are in. This is really just showcasing who you are and what your work actually is. So how do you do this? Well, one of the things that you can do, and I think it's a really fun and cool thing to have, is to have a professional author website. This is not necessarily the first point of contact that you're going to make with your readers, but if you're on social media and you are correctly communicating with your audience that you have an author website, they can go on there and that is just a beautiful overview of who you are, what you do. Maybe there they can more easily find all the books you've written, all the stuff you've done. An author website just screams, I'm a professional. Now, obviously, not everyone has the time and the money to invest into a website right away. Not to worry, because there's another thing you should do when you are crafting a compelling brand, and that is being active on social media. Like I said, there's a plethora of social media platforms that is filled to the brim with readers and authors, and you want to be there and you want to connect with them and you want to be active on there to be part of that community in order for the community to know about you. Now, in later steps, we'll get more into what you can do specifically on social media to get more visibility and reach. But for now, I have on my website created a free social media guide specifically designed for indie authors and also regular authors, by the way. So I will put the link in the description below to this PDF file that is just a social media guide. And I guarantee if you follow these steps, you will see a difference in your reach and in your engagement. It's completely free, so go grab it today. I'm very excited to share it with you. Now I know you're an indie author for a reason. Not all indie authors have a budget. Not all indie authors have the money to invest in every single step that creating a book takes, because making a book from starting to write it all the way to publication includes a lot of steps, like just so many steps. And sometimes it can be really useful to invest in some of those steps and have a professional do them for you or help you with them, not only in order to kind of take a little bit of the load off of you, but also so that the end result is professional. Now, some of the things that you could commission out to professionals to do for you in order to have this happen is proofreading, editing, formatting your book, and book cover designs. You don't need to do all of these. You don't need to pay professionals to do all these for you, because that would actually cost quite a lot of money. If you can save up to it, if you can budget it, that's all the better, but you can definitely do at least some of these yourself. But I do believe that investing in some of them, making a selection in what of these services you want a professional to help you with, can be very helpful, and you will have just a lot more professional end result of your book that is going to give a much better first impression to potential readers. Utilizing online marketplaces is one of the most important steps in being seen as an indie author, because those are the places that people are going to be buying your books from. You want to write your book, you want to have it finished, but then you also need to have a place where people can go and buy it. And thankfully today there are a lot of opportunities with online marketplaces where you can put your books out and have them sell. A couple of examples of this would be Amazon, Kobo, and Barnes & Noble Press. Now, most indie authors already write their books with the intention of it also being available as an ebook. And one of the most effective ways that you can get your ebook out there to a bigger audience is to discover and research different ebook subscription services such as Kindle Unlimited. Now, book marketing and digital marketing is something that scares a lot of people. It seems very difficult and incredibly time consuming, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Just like I said in the beginning, at the first tip, being active on social media is really a key element to being seen, finding your audience, finding potential readers, and just broadening your reach. Without being active on social media, it is incredibly difficult to find people to read your books once they're published. And so while you can really broaden your reach by just being active on social media, you should be smart about the way you post on social media in order to get your book out there. Obviously, there is the added value to having social media ads, but they cost money and we don't all have a budget to pay Instagram, to pay TikTok, to promote our stuff. But you don't have to. You can actually use digital marketing without having to spend a coin on ads. Just by being active on social media and using a good social media strategy, understanding what different platforms desire of you as a creator on there can already be enough to broaden your reach and to find readers for your book. Now, once again, I have created a free social media guide for this that you can download today free from my website. The link is below and I'm very excited to share it with you. I think it can really be a huge help to you guys on at least figuring out what strategy you should use on your social media and also just getting started. Or even if you've already started, just rethink your strategy so it would work even better. Now, other than being active on social media, you can also do a couple of other stuff. You can start mailing lists, and obviously people that would subscribe to these mailing lists potentially are going to be people you will probably find through social media. Something you do want to do with mailing lists though is you don't want to overflow people's mailboxes with emails. So keeping it kind of, at one email a week should be enough, and you want those emails to be interesting and visually also exciting. These emails can be about your process writing your book. It can be a promotion for when your book is released. People that are subscribed to your mailing list get some kind of incentive for having subscribed to the mailing list. It is a great way to get your work out there a little bit more. Even though a lot of people think emails are in the past, they still do wonders today if you do it right. So just, do it. Now, connecting with other authors can be a very rewarding experience. I find the author community on every platform I'm active on to be such a nice and positive community. I love how there is such a big amount of support between authors and other creators around books and publishing. It is just a super wonderful place and you want to be part of it. I mean, not necessarily just to get something out of it at the end of the day, but also it is just something so nice to be a part of. And interacting with other authors is just a very fulfilling thing. And at the end of the day, just going to sleep knowing that you guys have supported each other and given each other words of encouragement and tips and tricks and just a good time and a good vibe can be more than enough for you to have the energy the next day to wake up and just go for it. Now, one of the most amazing things that you can do with fellow authors on social media is collaborate. There are a lot of ways you can collaborate with each other on the different social media platforms. On TikTok, you can do stitches and duets, live streams together. On Instagram, you can also do live streams together and you can create collaboration posts. These are just amazing ways to not only broaden your reach and find a bigger audience, but also just to support each other. And last but not least, one of the most important steps, I think, especially as an indie author, is to engage with your readers. Now, obviously, to be able to engage with your readers, you want to find readers first. And I have a couple of tips that you can do to find readers. Everything I've said before in this video is tips, but two other things you can do to find readers is to have beta readers and ARC readers for your book. Most authors already know, but if you don't, that's not a disaster. Beta readers are people that will read your book once it's kind of finished. Some authors like to wait until it's completely edited. It won't have any new versions of it. Some authors like to do it very early on and they might still go through a couple of edits. It's really up to you, but basically you give your manuscript to a couple of people that will then go and read your book and give you feedback on your story, on the way you've written it. Maybe they will find gaps in your plot. Maybe they will find cliches that you don't want in there. They will just give you reader feedback, and it's just an amazing way to already kind of gauge what a reading audience's opinion would be on your book. Obviously, not every single point of feedback is something that you will have to take into your book and change. But for example, let's say you give your book to 10 beta readers and 8 out of those 10 say, listen, I don't really understand how this happens after that. I feel like there's a plot hole there. Then that gives you an indication that, okay, that is something I need to fix. Beta readers are amazing for that. It's just another way to help your story be very professional and very on point. But also, it is great to find new readers, because I have beta read before in the past, and I gotta tell you, at the end, I ended up buying those books and I have read them in their finished form. These beta readers might also go online and promote your book for you, especially if they like what they're reading. And then you have ARC readers. ARC readers are a little bit different. These are people that will be reading your book once it's finished but not yet published, and it's a great marketing trick to having reviews out there for your book before it is published. ARC readers receive the book for free, they read it, and they leave honest reviews on Goodreads. They make posts on their accounts for it, they leave reviews on Amazon, and it's just a great way to already kind of market your book out there. Again, they will also probably post about it on their socials. They will probably also buy your book once it's published, but also once your book is out there on the internet, ready to be bought, there will be reviews. And if you just look inwards, and let's say you're looking for a product online and you see it on Amazon and it has 0 reviews, but then you see that same product also on Amazon and it has 10 reviews, which one are you more inclined to buy, right? The one that has reviews. So already having your book have reviews when it's published is a really good trick to have people be like, oh, interesting, I will buy this. So this is a great way to find readers and to interact with them. Obviously, you want to interact. You don't just want to give it to them, beta read it, give me feedback, I'll never answer to you. Reply to those reviews, reply to their social media posts about your book, follow each other, interact with their posts. So these are the 6 tips that I can give you for being more visible and being seen as an indie author. I hope I helped you with these tips. I hope you learned something new from this video. If you did, please give it a like. Subscribe to this channel, because I will be posting different tips and tricks on growing on social media, not only specifically for authors, but I will be focusing mainly on authors. And also, don't forget to download my free social media guide from my website today. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!